God's breakthrough. So to be perplexed means to be at a loss, confused, or in this context, to be doubtful. So the devil tries to bring doubt into our minds and move us away from the truth of God's word that we believe in. So you may face doubts, but you don't have to allow the doubt to bring you to the point of losing hope and seeing no way out. Jesus is the way out. John says, I have some doubts, but I know who has the answer to my doubts. Jesus Christ has the answer to our doubts. Amen. And also we know the story of David and Eliab. I think it's first. Let's go to 1 Samuel 17. First Samuel 17, verse 28. Are we there? Now Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men, and Eliab's anger was aroused against David and said, Why did you come down here? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? Then he says, I know your pride and the insolence of your heart, for you have come down to see the battle. So what is Eliab doing? Eliab is accusing. And this is what the devil does. The devil accuses you of your mistakes. The devil accuses you of your shame to bring you down. But Christ doesn't accuse you to bring you down. He accuses you to lift you up. He shows you your mistakes to lift you up. Number 2, recognize the reasons for your doubt. Number 1 was recognize the reality of the doubt. Number 2 is recognize the reasons for your doubt. Let's go to Matthew 11:2. We're familiar with when John the Baptist was in prison. And when John heard that in prison about the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples and said to him, Are you the one coming, or do we look for another? So I want us to understand, my point is recognize the reasons for doubt. Number 1, John the Baptist was in unfavorable circumstances. He was in prison. John the Baptist was in prison because he confronted the corruption of Herod, or we can say in other words, he took a stand for the truth. So 1 was unfavorable circumstances. Recognize the reasons why you're doubting. Number 2, unfulfilled expectations. John asks, Are you the one, or do we look for another? Then Jesus tells them, Go and tell John the things which you hear and see. The blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. So number 2 is unfulfilled expectations. Number 3, recognize the results of doubt. I concluded one major result of doubt is loss of joy. A life filled with doubt is a life filled with turmoil and fear. You are never at peace. So doubt will make you stay back and never get into the real will of God. Or we can say that at times you're dilly-dallying. Should I not? Yet there are promises ahead of you. Before I say doubt will make you not experience the promises of God. So you're trying to, shall I not? And there's so many promises ahead of you. So we cannot be effective in our service to God as long as we doubt Him. Amen. And my last point is recognize the remedy for doubt. So number one, recognize the remedy for doubt. Number one, start by admitting your doubt. You cannot overcome doubt unless you recognize it and admit it. Amen? Jesus says in Mark chapter 9 verse 23-24, Jesus said to him, if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. Immediately the father of the child cried out and said in tears, Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. So the bottom line here is Jesus is the only way out to your doubts. Give your doubts to him, give your unbelief to him, give your misgivings to him, give your uncertainty to him. We can see when John the Baptist says, is he the one or do you expect another? Jesus then answers and says, tell him what you've seen. I don't want to believe, don't believe. So whatever it is whatever trials or difficulties you're facing, the key point to my sermon was, we turn wholly to him and ask him to help us turn wholly to him, because we need his spirit to work in us.